Hi all, Andy here and welcome back to the channel for what may be a very short video this evening on how to change the battery on a Mk7 Fiesta. When I say change the battery, it's this little tiny guy here, which is much smaller than most batteries I've come across when I've been working on cars. It should be a quite easy fix. If you're looking to replace your battery, it's probably because it's no longer holding charge. There could be a couple of reasons for that. If a battery is run completely flat, sometimes the health of the battery is affected and it doesn't like to come back to full charge. It doesn't like to hold enough charge. And also at this time of the year, it is coming up to December. It's very cold and the cold will affect the life of the battery also and affect its ability to hold charge. This particular car has got symptoms of running flat and refusing to start, and we're able to restart the car with a jump pack. The jump pack that I've mentioned is the Topdon JS 1200. Now these retail for around 50 or 60 pounds, but this is an absolute lifesaver to have in your car or your garage, particularly if you own some older cars like I do. And this has got my daughter out of a sticky situation over the last few days while we've waited to replace the battery. So highly recommend getting yourself a Topdon JS 1200 Jump Surge battery pack. That's a really worthwhile investment to have for a car if you don't have one, and I'll leave a link in the channel below to my particular jump pack, a very worthwhile investment. Now the battery health itself might be fine, and it could be the alternator on the car that's not charging the battery. On this occasion I think the alternator is okay, and I think it's the battery health on the car that is the problem. First we're going to do a quick check on the battery, check its battery health and see what sort of charge it can hold, and then we're going to swap the battery out. So let's get the bonnet open and get the battery tester out and give the battery a test. To do the initial release of the bonnet, pull the lever in the driver's footwell, which will raise the bonnet up by a couple of centimetres, and there is a small lever just here above the badge under the bonnet that if you push up it will release your bonnet. This small yellow lever just here, and we're going to support the bonnet with this arm like so, and the battery is located here on the passenger side of the car on UK cars. Here's the battery. You've got a positive terminal. We can see this is quite dirty and probably not making a great connection there, although the connection is pretty solidly on. And here is the negative terminal, which is obviously earthed off to the bodywork of the car. So here is my battery tester, and it is a Kingbolen BM560. It's a nice simple device. It retails for about £12 on Amazon, and it has a positive connection that you connect to the positive terminal of the battery, like so, and it also has a negative, the black connection, that connects to the negative terminal of the battery. Just clips on quite easily, just like so, and that will bring the device to life because it's not battery powered, but it's run off the battery power of the car that we need to select. Test the battery by pressing the green button, then we choose the 12 volt option for our car because a car battery is 12 volts on the whole. Then we need to choose battery test from the list of options and hit OK. It then tells us that we need to ensure the engine is off. Then we need to choose the battery type, and this is a CCA, which stands for a cold cranking arm battery. I'm just confirming that on the top of the battery. I then need to set the amp output from the battery. Now this battery that's on the car is a 390, so we set it to 390, then hit OK, and there you go. Straight away it shows that we've got a battery health of just 3%, and it's telling us we need to replace the battery now. So that's a clear indication that the battery is faulty and we need to take this battery off the car. Disconnect that, and once we get it on, we'll retest the battery with the battery tester once more. As you can see, the battery is secured by this long metal bar that keeps the battery pinned down into the battery compartment, and on either end of this there is a 10mm nut that we need to remove with a socket. Once you've loosened the nuts, put them up on the scuttle panel so you don't lose them, and then you can gently lift the metal bar away from the plastic battery housing casing, and you can now switch your attention to the positive terminal. Lift the plastic clip back and remove the 10mm nut that's holding it in place. And once you've loosened it off, you can wiggle this away from the terminal and lift it off and just put it to one side. Then you can switch your attention to the negative terminal. Again, just loosen it off, and you can then get the nut finger loose, and that should allow you to wiggle the terminal to side, give it a pull. Again, tuck that out of the way, and at this point you've got nothing that's holding the battery in place. Pick up the battery using this handy carry handle and lift it out of the housing. Don't worry about the case falling apart, you can easily slot that back together, and then your battery housing is all ready to install the new battery. So here is our new battery, and it is made by Lion Batteries, and I purchased this from Eurocar Parts for £40. It's rated at 340 cold cranking amps, so it's less powerful than the 390 cold cranking amps battery we removed, so it'll be less good to start in cold weather, but it's rated to 40 amps. As you can see, it is an 063 model, and that's important to know if you're looking at, say, a Bosch battery, because 063 is the same number. So we're going to get this battery installed in the car now and see if it gives us the performance that we need compared to the old battery. As you insert the battery back into the battery holder, ensure you have it orientated the right way around, so the positive terminal is facing towards you and the negative terminal towards the rear of the car. It might take some adjustment to get it lined up perfectly, but it should just feel nice and snug once aligned. Give the terminals a bit of a clean if they appear to be corroded. You can give them a bit of a wire wool or a rub of the cloth to remove any grease and dirt. And once you've done so, you can place them back over the terminal. Start with the positive terminal first, take your 10mm socket and tighten the nut back up to make a nice secure fit. Make sure the cable is firm and done up nice and tightly to prevent any arcing. Repeat the process on the negative connection. Once the two wires are in place, take the black securing bar, place it over the two bolts and finger tighten the two nuts to hold it in place before finally tightening with the 10mm socket. Ensure the battery is firmly secured in place with the bar once you've completed, and you are pretty much done. Time to reconnect the battery tester once more and see what sort of results we're getting with the new battery. So I connect the positive and negative terminal back up, go through the same settings as before. We're going to test the battery, a CCA, we're doing a battery test, we're going to set it to a 340 CCA battery this time, because it's got a much lower rated cold cranking arm. That means it's obviously not going to be as good in the cold as the previous battery. Press OK to run the test, and look at that, this battery is coming up as good, and it's got a 91% charge rating. Well, that's not bad considering that this battery has probably been sitting in the shop for a few weeks and not being charged. So it looks like the battery is healthy and ready to power this Fiesta on for the foreseeable future. So that is a very, very quick tutorial on how to change the battery on a Mk7 Fiesta. I hope you found the video useful. It's a very simple job, a 5-minute job if you are not filming it like I am. Really easy job you can do at home. As mentioned, Kingbolen BM560, I think it retails for about £10 to £15. Absolutely worth its weight in gold for testing any battery on the car. It gives you a brilliant insight into the battery health and its charging capacity, and again it can identify when the battery needs changing, so highly recommend that as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and if you have, then please do give it a thumbs up, and also think about subscribing to my channel, where you will find a whole host of content on the Ford Fiesta Mk7. As always, thanks for watching. See you soon. Take care.